desire is that this should be accessible to every student. Grade 10, because they are senior secondary, grade 10 to grade 12. And they are all involved. So it's up to the, it also needs time. So it's up to the school administration to devise what time is suitable for them to be, able to have access, to this thing. So that all the students, male or female, have access to these students, these modules.
Okay. Mr. Mohammed, again, before going to the director, as Madam Ture has said earlier, in her school, what they did was to prioritize those doing science. So is that in any way trying to let out those not in the sciences? Or in your ministry, have you tried to put in place any mechanism that will ensure that not only students in the sciences are undertaking this program, but since health is important to everybody, all have equal access?
Yeah, thank you very much. The project doesn't only come for science students. It is for both science, commerce, and art students. Hence, you are a student in that particular school. You are eligible to access that CD and, go deep in it and at least try to find out what it entails. Okay. So the ministry, doesn't only have this thing like focusing only on the science students. Because when you are talking about a school, it's not only science students that are there. You have different students in different walks of life. So be it a science student, you need to be active, you need to be healthy, you need to protect yourself from the bites of malaria. Okay. And, you have that set up in the school system.
What you are saying is very typical to science. And what science students do in their normal subjects is more or less what is reflected in these tapes. So since it started, because they study about malaria.
Exactly. No, I think the science thing, let me make it clear. When this thing was, was introduced in the schools, science teachers want to grab it. Okay. They say, oh, my friend, you have come to help us. Well, the tapes are designed for everybody. Okay. So that anybody who can use computer. And the language is very simple. That's why we not only assess the school, but also we look at these tapes. Okay. About, the clarity of the message. The audio, whether the language is also can be understood by our students. So we had a whole workshop devoted to that. Just look at these individual tapes. What do they contain? So the sciences that are coming, because Fatu is a science teacher, the sciences are they want to grab this, but that is, let me tell you, in fact, some students, in fact, non-science students sometimes even excel more in this than the non-science.
You have to understand that they are the major claimants, because this has to do with science, a subject which is a priority for students in the sciences, not so. Now, what I want to ask Mr. Mohammed Njai is that since this project started rolling out, have you seen any improvement in the results of science students, to be specific, because it has to deal directly with what they do, what the teachers teach them?
Yeah, I am very happy in that question. And like she had rightly stated, going back to the school setup, when we went to their school or her school, we were impressed by a comment she made, that she decided to use some of the modules in that CD to prepare her exam questions to the students in general. So that was something, showing us that, is something that the students have really appreciated. Because if she, as the teacher, decided to extract her own examination question from that CD, definitely is trying to promote the 3 modules in the school setup. Yeah.
Okay. And those 3 modules, are they in line with your syllabus?
Definitely they are. Yeah, because when they came with the 3 modules, I myself, I took it at home. I studied it very well. So all the 3 modules are related to biology. Okay. I can say basically biology. Okay. So at the end of the day, like for grade 11s, when you're at skeleton system or the muscular system, I just play that CD for them, play with them and leave with them for them to learn for themselves. So at the end of the day, when I'm in class, it becomes more interesting. They understand it more than the usual time when I just go to the class and explain it to them. Okay. Yeah. So that one is definitely, it really helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now to the Director of Youth and Sports. Today's discussion, as I said earlier, is on physical education. Now, you have been collaborating with WHO to roll out this program for youth. In students, we have both able and disabled students. How are they catered for in this aspect of physical education?
No, the thing is, let me say this. I just want to say that the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, we all know they are in a process of ensuring that physical education, especially school sports, is taken care of. So when you said, I'm not a stranger at Grts, I thought that's what you remembered, just here.
Yeah.
But there's a component which is on physical education and school sports.
Yeah.
So there, if WHO had come up with a program, then that collaboration is being strengthened. So we know that the young people, who are in school especially, are being helped if we engage them in physical education, as the module is introducing them to. The teacher will say, I'm not a teacher, but the teacher can testify that young people who are engaged in physical sports and physical education can perform easily, especially when you wake up in the morning and have some exercise and so forth. And I can testify. I played football up to my A level. Yeah, and today, even if I enter the field, I'm all right. I can play.
Okay.
And academic-wise, I've performed.
Okay.
So
now, what activities do you think is most suitable for this kind?
Disabled people.
Not for disabled.
Yeah.
For the able also.
For the able people, programs that they can go for. Are provided in the module. Of
Like
provided in the module. Just a simple exercise, basic exercise, and there are actions that you take. You might think you are not in exercise. You are in exercise. They are in the module.
Yeah, all there.
Yeah. So Madam will testify. So that those things, they help both your head with ever and the hand. So it can, and also even about the diet. Diet is very important in sports. Very important. You cannot take certain food and you want to do exercise.
You are a sportsman. What are some of those foods, for example?
No, those ones are meant because in sports there's what we call sports medicine, and there are people who are responsible to say this is what the players will eat in collaboration with the person that knows diet. So I'm an administrator. I will only have the basic knowledge to know that these athletes have special food to eat. And I will have to know those basic to know that if you are going to be engaged in certain exercise, you don't have to eat
Certain things.
certain food, like oily food and so forth. This,
Pepper.
yes. So
at the basic level.
yes, So I know the modules are very useful in keeping the young people as academicians, but also in keeping them as physically fit people, as healthy people that Gambia will need, and that will contribute to our Vision 2020 objectives. One of the objectives, which is a healthy nation. And if you don't have a healthy nation, you cannot have a well-skilled population. Yeah. And this is in line with our own policy when we're looking at giving the young people good employment, giving the young people the entrepreneurship skills, the leadership skills. But if the young people are not healthy, you cannot provide this.
So this is one way of making them healthy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the models?
Well, exactly. In fact, let me come to this. Let me make this very clear. This whole package is not about sports only. Remember, the module is physical activity. Physical activity. Physical activity, by definition, goes beyond sports. Sport is just one element of it. So this module is not only talking about people who can do these fantastic skills, locomotion skills. No. It is encouraging as simple as it may be walking. You see, if you look at the Explore the Tools, it tells you basics. from the basics, walking. What is the benefit of physical activity? What is the benefit of walking? How does it impact on